This is a first-person action game in which you play as a goblin who fights using only his feet. The developers call it a first-person booter instead of a first-person shooter, because you kick everything instead of using guns. Your character Glum works for an evil overlord named Samperius who gets kidnapped by rival overlords. Since Glum needs his job, he puts on a magical boot and goes to rescue his boss. The main gameplay is all about kicking mechanics. You can do basic kicks, charge them up for more power, or aim precisely at specific targets. There's a wall kick ability that launches you backwards off surfaces, so you can reach higher areas or cross gaps. You can pick up objects with your foot and either throw them or use them as projectiles by charging a kick while holding something. The game also has a BootZooka ability where you basically shoot your boot at enemies and it returns to you like a boomerang. The combat focuses on using physics and the environment to defeat enemies. Instead of direct fighting, you kick opponents into spikes, throw them into traps, or launch explosives at them. The game has a scoring system called Menace Style that gives you points for creative kills. When you cause enough destruction, you can activate Bonkers mode, which makes you faster and stronger. Each enemy reacts differently to attacks because of the physics system. The current early access version has one main level. This is a town occupied by enemy forces where you need to ring 2 bells on towers to draw out the military commander. The level is semi-open, meaning you can explore freely and approach objectives in any order. The game has trials, which are pretty much arena-style challenges where you face waves of enemies and try to achieve high scores through stylish combat. There's also a separate arena mode for practicing combat without story elements. The story and dialogue use adult humor with proper jokes and dark comedy. The tone is intentionally over the top and not exactly suitable for children. Your companion is a floating cat who makes sarcastic comments, and much of the environmental storytelling involves inappropriate content and violent humor. The game's early access plan involves staying in development for at least 1 year. The developers plan to add new areas, enemies, abilities and systems based on community feedback. The execution here feels polished enough that even with limited content there's room to experiment with different approaches to challenges. The developers have experience working with community feedback from earlier development stages and plan to continue this approach throughout early access. Now, before we end today's video, I would like to mention that I deliberately decline sponsorships and paid opportunities to keep this channel authentic. That's why this channel can be supported on Patreon starting at just €2. If you frequently find value in this channel, then a quick visit would be massively appreciated. And that sentence concludes today's video. If your time was respected, a like or comment is very much appreciated.